In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 NFL games happening on September 28, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Minnesota Vikings versus Pittsburgh Steelers. Carson Wentz got his Minnesota career off to a fast start, but now he has to prove it wasn't just a one-week flash. The Vikings head overseas to face the Steelers in Ireland, and while Wentz picked up a win in his debut, I'm not convinced he can carry that over. That first win came against a Bengals squad that was rattled by Joe Burrow's injury news, and Cincinnati practically handed the game away with turnovers. Minnesota scored twice on defense in the first half alone, and even though the scoreboard showed 48 points, Wentz only managed 173 yards through the air. That's not exactly the kind of offensive explosion people think of when they see a number like that. Just a week earlier, the Vikings lost 22-6 to an Atlanta team that is struggling to find its footing, and in Week 1 they barely scraped past a weak Bears team with a late rally. Minnesota is a lot more comfortable in their own building, and this trip across the Atlantic is a different challenge. On the other side, Pittsburgh comes in 2-1. Aaron Rodgers' run with the Steelers hasn't been flawless, but the only blemish came against a Seattle squad that looks sharp. Without a special teams miscue in that game, they could easily be 3-0. Rodgers has looked sharper this season, and considering he was coming back from an Achilles tear last year, it's no surprise he needed time to get going. Minnesota's defense is the strength of their team, ranking near the top of the league in total and scoring defense, but the quarterback situation makes them hard to trust. Wentz is not someone I want to rely on as a favorite, and while Pittsburgh hasn't exactly dominated on defense, Rodgers is the steadier option under center. These international games are unpredictable with travel and field conditions, but I'll side with the more proven quarterback. As our first pick for this matchup, the Pittsburgh Steelers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. This matchup also features two defensive minds in Mike Tomlin and Brian Flores, and both know each other's tendencies well from their time together in Pittsburgh. Minnesota's defense looks stout again, and last week they shut down Jake Browning almost completely. Wentz's stat line was modest despite the big point total, and given how recently he signed with the team, I expect Kevin O'Connell to keep things conservative. That likely means leaning on the run and trying to limit mistakes rather than asking Wentz to push the ball downfield. Rodgers is also still acclimating with his new group, and even in the Steelers' win over New England last week, he threw for only 139 yards. Neither offense feels ready to break out here, especially in a foreign environment with travel fatigue. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Washington Commanders versus Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons will want to erase the sting of that humiliating 30-0 loss to Carolina when they welcome the Washington Commanders in Week 4 on Sunday. That shutout loss screamed dysfunction on offense. Michael Penix Jr. had arguably the worst outing of his young career, completing only half of his 36 throws for 172 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 picks. In reaction, the team axed receivers coach Ike Hilliard. I'm not convinced that move will change much. Atlanta doesn't exactly radiate confidence right now, so I'm siding with Washington on the money line. Now, yes, it's not ideal that Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin are ruled out, but that's exactly why Washington is getting value as an underdog. They were favored earlier before those absences were confirmed. Marcus Mariota has shown he can handle the reins. He filled in last week and guided the team to a 41-24 win versus the Raiders, hitting 15 of 21 for 207 yards and a touchdown, with no interceptions, plus tacking on 40 rushing yards and a score. I like Washington's upside here. As our first pick for this matchup, the Washington Commanders to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Yes, Penix isn't playing well, and yes, he's lacked help. Atlanta lost offensive tackle Caleb McGarry before the season began, and wide receiver Darnell Mooney missed early time and hasn't looked sharp since returning. On defense, though, Atlanta's been solid. In Minnesota, they forced 4 turnovers and racked up 6 sacks en route to a 22-6 win. Even last week, despite the 30-0 drubbing, they limited Carolina to just 224 yards and averaged only 4.1 yards per play. Meanwhile, Washington's offense is undermanned. McLaurin and Noah Brown are out, tight end John Bates is unavailable, and running back Jackery Krosky-Merritt is questionable while Austin Ekeler is already done for the season. It's hard to expect fireworks, so I'm leaning low in scoring. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Cleveland Browns versus Detroit Lions. With a full slate of games in Week 4, Browns versus Lions in Detroit might slide under the radar for many bettors. That said, I've been paying attention. Sure, Cleveland was expected to struggle this year, but through 3 weeks they've shown flashes. They should have beaten Cincinnati in Week 1, held their own on defense versus Baltimore, and a week ago pulled off a gutsy overtime victory over Green Bay as big home underdogs. Let's dig in. The Browns' defense is what's drawing the buzz. I've backed them before this season, but the market might be overhyping them now. Statistically, they're middle of the pack, about 15th in expected points added per play on defense, 28th in rush yards allowed, 21st in expected points added per pass. Yet they're being treated like a shutdown unit. That discrepancy gives me pause. On the flip side, their offense has been a liability, dead last or near it in expected points added per play and success rate. Meanwhile, Detroit is riding momentum. After a rough Week 1 loss to Green Bay, they've rattled off back-to-back convincing wins over Chicago and Baltimore. Their swagger is back. The return of Aiden Hutchinson has bolstered their defense, and I trust the Detroit offense to show up at home. As our first pick for this matchup, the Detroit Lions to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. On the defensive side again, Cleveland will still bring pressure. They clocked 22 pressures on Jordan Love in Week 3, so even if the line of scrimmage is tilted toward Detroit, the Browns should make things messy. The real problem is their offense. Joe Flacco and company have rarely gotten going. Moving the ball and scoring are serious issues. The mismatch in offensive reliability makes me lean toward a lower total. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Los Angeles Chargers versus New York Giants. The Jackson Dart era officially begins for the New York Giants when they host the 3-0 Chargers in Week 4. Dart showed flashes in preseason, but regular season defenses are another animal entirely, especially one as stout as Los Angeles. So I'm backing the visitors to win and cover. Dart might have upside, but Brian DeBole's decision feels more about moving on from Russell Wilson than some grand rookie promotion. Wilson had one strong game against Dallas, but otherwise looked like a shadow of his best self. I don't trust Dart more than a faded Wilson. Meanwhile, the Chargers are firing on all cylinders. They defend the pass well, rank strongly against the run, and their scoring defense is among the best. Their offense, led by Herbert, doesn't need to explode to win. Putting up 20 to 27 points usually does the trick. As our first pick for this matchup, the Los Angeles Chargers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Giants broke out for 37 in an overtime loss to Dallas, but in their other 2 losses managed just 15 total points. Rather than ease Dart in against a weak team, DeBole chose to throw him into the deep end against one of the best defenses in football. Not a kind welcome. For the Chargers offense, they've been solid, efficient, controlled, generally mistake-free, though not lighting up the scoreboard. Herbert is doing enough. Their backfield has taken a hit with Najee Harris on injured list, so rookie Omarion Hampton has more responsibility. The offensive line is dealing with injuries too. Rashawn Slater is done, and Makey Becton and Bradley Bozeman are questionable. With these constraints, I expect the game to skew toward a lower total. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Tennessee Titans versus Houston Texans. The Tennessee Titans and Houston Texans square off Sunday at NRG Stadium. The Texans will get the benefit of the doubt. They were expected to be better than 0-3, and they have a quarterback who's flashed some potential. The Titans, though, are in disarray, and rookie quarterback Ward is taking his lumps. But better quarterback doesn't always win. Houston's offense has been abysmal, ranking last in scoring. Plus, when the Texans are big favorites, their against the spread record is just 4-10-1 over the past 15. In short, I'm fading Houston here. As our first pick for this matchup, the Tennessee Titans to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Neither team inspires confidence offensively. The Titans' high water mark this year is 20 points. The Texans haven't scored more than 19. Ward is still learning the ropes, battling lower body nagging issues, and his offensive line's injuries expose him further. Houston's defense is their best unit, and they'll make life difficult for Tennessee's unit. Meanwhile, Houston has had chances, but turnovers and penalties keep derailing them. They've already scored 10 or fewer points twice this season. Between the two, the under is a sensible lean. It's 4-2 this year in their games, and 7-3 in recent head-to-head matchups. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.